So true. Hmm. Hello and welcome. We're going to explore sharing this human beautiful satsang via this medium as well, Instagram. All right. The Instagram in me recognizes and greets the Instagram as you. Okay. Welcome to satsang. We're also we're also live on YouTube. Hi everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos, gracias. We're also live on YouTube if you'd like to get a more full frontal view of the whole experience. That means the fullness of the front this way. If you speaking here, so you have many options, and I am wonderful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? Thank you. Hello, loves, and welcome to Satsang. Has anyone in here never been to a satsang before? Sway?
No, this is my first.
You've been to satsang before? Yay! So everyone here has been to satsang before. But this week, right? So for beloveds that are watching on Instagram, beloveds that are watching at home, beloveds that are here, it's one thing that's so much fun about satsang is that what I love about it and crack up about it, if memory serves me right, is that it's the same invitation over and over and over again, maybe with like little differences in themes, but the invitation is simply to notice what we usually don't notice. To notice what we usually don't notice. To put our attention on what we usually don't put our attention on. To take a moment to get familiar with what we usually don't get familiar with. To tell the truth about what we usually don't even know there's the option to recognize as true and as present. So the invitation is always for your own direct experience. Words will happen, but this is not about the words. Stories will happen, and this is not about the stories. Laughter may happen. This is not laughter. And it's about all those things. How wonderful that everything can serve as an ally. Everything can serve as a tool. Everything can serve as support for this recognition, for this noticing. And if we have noticed this before, to also challenge any beliefs that tell us that we need to do something in order to be this fully. Challenge any beliefs that tell us we need another second of exploration or another second of release or another second, a second more of healing in order to finally be the undressed radiance we are. And in that challenge of those beliefs, maybe discover not so, not the case. Just as I am right now with these thoughts. So, the invitation of satsang, we can say, is to notice that just as you are right now, just as you are, just as you are, whatever descriptions about yourself that there may be present, yes, even with all those descriptions, whatever feelings there might be present, yes, even with all those feelings, whatever assumptions, whatever storylines, whatever ideas about the world, whatever ideas about the past, yes, right now, you are freedom itself, just like this, wholeness itself, just like this, ease itself, just like this. Nothing excluded. Nothing excluded. A way to touch upon, a way to get a felt sense of this invitation can be to allow everything to be as it is. To allow everything to be as it is. Notice whatever the thoughts are about this moment, whatever the arguments are about this moment, and consider the option to stop for just a second and soften and allow everything about yourself to be as it is. Allow mind to be completely as it is. Allow body to be completely as it is. Allow the heart to be completely as it is. Allowing every atom to be completely as it is. Every atom of the room you're in, the space you're in, every atom that reveals this wondrous display of a planet, every atom of the cosmos in this moment, to just allow all to be as it is. What a sweet option. What's the experience in not having to reach for something, or not having to emphasize reaching for something or pushing something away? If there is a sense of reaching for peace or well being, if there is a sense of keeping stress or depression or fear or ignorance at bay, also include those innocent strategies of mind in this allowing all to be as it is. This is the only moment in the cosmos. And I love you too. That's exactly what this moment says to itself. I love you. And that's something we can notice in ever more obvious ways. In my direct experience right now, this chair is complete love. It's completely giving all of itself, completely doing its job. So this man hamster can sit. The technology, the cameras, the electricity, my dear friends, body, voice, ears, wondrous, everything doing its job without us having to micromanage it to do its job. Just is. This is peace. There's that sweet TikTok video of that gentleman who's like pointing to like this empty field and just freaking out as to like, you telling me that this shit is free? Oh, peace of mind. Free? You telling me it's everywhere? It's there. This peace of mind? Peace of mind. So free. How do we not have peace of mind? When we experience the moment innocently through the assumption, the unquestioned rumor that we didn't even give ourselves. We continue that, what would you call it, limerick? Because what a riddle. this, this thing that doesn't even exist in the present moment. But wow, imagine. We just are like, oh yeah, of course, everything, every assumption, I'm going to take it on, and that's what I am, and that's where this is. How fascinating. that we don't consider. Appreciate that suggestion, appreciate that point of view, appreciate that idea, appreciate the labels, appreciate the descriptions. And I'm curious for myself here in this moment, are any of those absolutely true? Who would I be without my story, as Byron Katie says? Who would I be without the emphasis of my story? Who would I be if the story took the back seat and the untold fullness of who we are is here, is allowed to be here? What's available in that space? So sweet that we have all infinity, which is just this moment to discover. All infinity, which is just this moment to notice. Anyone have something you'd like to share, something you'd like to explore before I continue? And beloved Bodhi, have you listened to the thing and you can hear me? I'm just curious. Okay, good. And beloveds on Instagram, ¿me pueden escuchar? Can you hear me out there? Let me know. Hi.
Hey man.
Hello there,
So
mister.
there's a quote from Ramana Maharshi. I was listening to a podcast today, whatever, and they had mentioned this quote, and I heard it entirely different.
I love
in the
that. Isn't that
past.
fun?
I was like, oh my God, I saw what was being said,
Yes.
not in the past what I heard.
Yes.
Those are very different things.
Yes.
So the quote is, the degree of freedom from unwanted thoughts and the degree of concentration on a single thought are the measures to gauge spiritual progress. That's Ramana.
Yay.
So how I used to hear that was the degree of freedom because the thoughts won't be there anymore.
Right. So good to notice.
That
and how
is not
frustrating
what
is that?
Oh my God.
It's like still thoughts.
Yeah. And
It's
it
still
happened,
happening.
actually, you were saying something earlier about being with. I was like,
Yes.
that's it too. I forgot exactly
Yes.
what the sentence was, but the ringing of the bell in my brain was the same. So it's this. I've been getting a different type of chiropractic care recently, and it's very interesting to be entirely whole, like there's no problems.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of shit going on that could be worked on.
Hallelujah.
Like, you're entirely whole, and it doesn't
Right.
mean that your nervous system agrees with you.
Right.
So what I heard in Ramana's statement, I suspect this was the intention. It's freedom from unwanted thoughts, not that unwanted thoughts go away. That's another. This is another way I'm hearing it, but I was like, oh, it would not surprise me one bit that you and me have a similar amount of thoughts throughout the day, and it has everything to do with the allegiance to them. So when something comes up, like instead of always gripping at it, it's like I might start to grip at it and I go, oh, that's just, this one does need attention. And then that, like the concentration on a single thought, that's probably discernment of take care of your mom because she has to go to the hospital. Like, that's a pretty good thought.
Yes.
if it needs to happen. Yeah. House is on fire. Get out.
So good.
It's a pretty good thought.
Right.
So
I love that.
There's a simplicity in that, and it doesn't throw thoughts out the window.
Right.
And it doesn't say that awareness is the only thing.
So good. Right. Because that is also just a thought.
Yeah.
Any extreme is a thought, which is so, so, so powerful to recognize. I so love that you heard that so radically different than when you were first, introduced to that quote. Yeah, what a gift.
And I've heard it changed a little bit each time I heard it from different people. Like they say it a little different, and not as like a blame, but it's just like, oh, I'm hearing it a bunch of different ways. Like, well, no, what did he say? Like what was recorded as to what he said. So that was that was good. That was like a pretty affirming.
So affirming.
Yeah.
And such a gift. I mean, goodness. We can notice as we're really trying to micromanage our thinking or change our thoughts, fix our thoughts, which has its place, and the moment we recognize that we don't have to is so powerful. So much energy is available once all that energy that used to go to micromanaging our thinking is now freed up, no longer bleeding off into a make-believe world, but it's just totally available. And in that availability, why I love the word available so much, is that we're available for all of life. This moment knows how to respond to itself, all included. A thought is included, and body is included, and action is included, and a thought of time is included. It's like so freed up.
And this person had also pointed out that that I've been working with the it's network care, that she's like, yeah, you're kind of shifty. Like you're really calm over here, and then you can switch right over here to some kind of thought that you're doing, and then you're over here, and this part of you is screaming, and then goes back to this, and I was like, oh, from an outside perspective, that mirrors how I've experienced internally. Like I seem to have the gift of seeing micro nuances, which is extremely dangerous and addictive and extraordinary when it's just allowed to, like this thing with freedom. Like freedom from unwanted thoughts didn't mean they went away.
Right. And they never need to.
No.
Never need to go away. Yeah. So powerful. Again, this moment knows how to respond to itself. And I love that from the outside, it can look like these certain things, but yeah, just this moment responding to itself as whatever is needed, whatever energy is needed, whatever skill is needed, whatever presence is needed, whatever thought is needed. It's all here. And it's really sweet to recognize it's possible to not have to rely on the closed system of intelligence of our thinking as the source of our intellect. It's possible to not have to live your life through thoughts. Notice as we're sitting here, we don't have to think right now. When thinking is needed, thinking will happen. And it's so nice to tend to what's here. Oh yeah, this moment's here. Oh yeah, this chair is here. Oh yeah, this mic is here. Oh yeah, Instagram is here. Oh yeah, awareness is here. Oh yeah, peace is here. Oh yeah, love is here. Oh yeah, fulfillment is here. Oh yeah, delight is here. Oh yeah, harmony is here. This is what we get to notice when we're not in our thinking minds. In our thinking minds, nothing. It will be like, oh, this I gotta do, that I gotta do, and this is I gotta be, and that I gotta be, and then I gotta try that, and then I gotta do that, and I gotta fix that, and I fix that. And am I really worthy? Am I really gonna do this right? Am I really? What do I need to do so I can get more money? What I need to do so I can get more fame? What I need to do so I can get more of this? What I need to do? Nothing wrong with any of that, but if you notice, might be a little stressful if that's the emphasis of our life. And the option is to not have for not how sweet to consider nothing ever needs to happen and all is well. And also to consider I'm fully available to run multiple multi-billion-dollar businesses if that's what's going to unfold. And to notice that no matter where you are, no matter where you're sitting, you're either sitting, lying, or standing, as Byron Katie says. Everything else is a story. You're just here with your own thinking. Oh, I'm this person that has this much money. Oh, now I'm this person that has this much money. Or now I'm this person that does this. Or now I'm this person that healed that. Now I'm this person. And again, this person is not a thing. That is a thought. It's not a real thing. Sometimes we think thoughts are what emanations from a person. No, a person is a thought. A body is a thought. Anything that can be described is a thought. It's not that thoughts happen to a person. Person is a thought that comes and goes. You are consciousness. You are loving intelligence, loving awareness. You are the space that allows for any dream of a person to come and go in an instant at its inception. How sweet that this invitation is available. Every tree is on.
I heard that wrong too for the longest time.
Oh, I love that. How'd you used to hear it?
That this pillow is a thought, that this thing doesn't exist. That's
so
not
good.
what you're, that's not it.
So good to notice.
The thought, the content in like thinking happens, and then there's like, that's like a bucket, pillow. And I look at this is a pillow. And when I hear you say that, forever, I've been hearing that, of course, this pillow here, of course, this pillow is right here. Of course, there's an experience of something here, but it's not pillow. We don't know what the hell this is. I have no idea.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Zero.
Yeah. I so love that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
There seems to be like.
And who are you?
That's the other thing that fell off too.
So good. I have no idea. Zero.
No. It's like, it doesn't mean there isn't there's some experiencer, whatever.
So great. Yeah.
It's about as close as I can get.
So great. I know. It's like this superimposed net of projected, uninvestigated assumptions. And we think we're living in the world when we're just living in our own thought of the world, our own story of the world. As we question the root thought, we can say, the root identity, again, to the degree that we imagine ourselves to be something separate, is to the degree that we're going to imagine apparent other things to be separate. To the degree that we allow ourselves to soften, relax, tell the truth, notice the solidity of our wholeness. That's all we ever experience. It's just the self with the self. What used to be a pillow is now God. To put it lightly, what used to be a carpet, this is the universe with itself. Whatever the word, remember, language is limited.
Yeah.
And you can never actually capture this with any dialect or any Sanskrit, hieroglyphics. It doesn't matter how fancy the language is on the mothership. All of it is but pointers, attempts that forever fail, perfectly fail, and perfectly announce the ineffable reality of who you are, of what's here.
Yeah. And the utility of calling this a pillow has some kind of function, but that's agreed upon. That is
Only in the dream,
Or,
only in your dream
right.
of agreed upon agreeers.
Yes. Right.
Which is so exciting.
But now what is everything?
Right. What's
Like
here?
all of it.
What's here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you? How sweet to celebrate all the names and to notice the nameless. Wow. Is there a part of you that has not been named? Is there a part of you that's still wild and free? A part of you that has not been tamed by any concepts? I love you. I love you. Isn't that so much fun? Yes, 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 yes. Anybody on the gram have any questions or something you'd like to explore in the context of, of this invitation? Why are you such a poet? Stop it! You're so cute. Christy Smith Astrology, I absolutely adore you. Your pranks on your husband are the funniest things ever. I love you so much. Hope I get to see you soon. Just as enjoying this opportunity to experience this moment. Isn't it so sweet to experience this moment? Yeah, the only memory. Claudia Verde Colibri. Love your voice and aura. Voice and aura love you. This moment experiencing itself. How sweet. How nice to be here as beloved, sitting in different places. And how nice to just notice the light here that has never been stuffed into a body. One conscious heart here with itself. One wisdom here with itself. One hilarity here with itself. One hilarity. Spontaneous, available, loving intelligence is here. It's who you have always been. It's who you will always be. It's who you are. It's the only thing that's real. How beautiful that we live a whole life of Instagram pictures and storylines and genetics and time and all of that perfectly. But you, as you are here, closer than beloveds on Instagram, how many appearances have you seen today? Or on YouTube? How many appearances? How many images? How many memes? How many videos? How much music? How many movies? How many telenovelas? How many stories? How many pictures? How many? None of them stain the screen. Could you imagine if everything you ever saw left an imprint on the screen? Oh my goodness. I know it sometimes feels that way, but that also disappears and doesn't leave an actual, real stain on the awareness you are, on the freedom you are. Yeah, how many images? Shoo, 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 shoo. You, solid, stable. This is reliable. When we imagine ourselves to be someone, fixing something, which is, again, I don't want to sound like I'm saying that as something that's wrong, because it's not. What an adventure the dream is. How exciting. How exciting. And if it resonates, this option of freedom, of "Ollie, ollie, oxen free, then Lord have mercy." You can find that I sound like Grimelda right now. Oh, some people know who Grimelda is, some people don't. But if freedom, peace is something you long for, it's available now as yourself. Not when mind gets better, not when feelings get better, not when your bio, all of that can help. But again, strategy and relying on quicksand to bring you to stability. And it's just hopeless. Just hopeless. Anyone else have a question or something you'd like to explore? Is there anyone have a doubt in this or something like, yeah, but what the fuck? Yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but what if I need to do this? Yeah, but what if I do surrender to what's real? And then what if I can't fucking live my life? What if I don't do shit? What if am a vegetable? What if I don't know, what's the fear of waking up? What if I surrender to this and then I'm no longer interested in life? I'm no longer interested. I no longer want to travel. I no longer want to seek romance or be in a romantic relationship. Or, you know, what if I go crazy? What if I can't pay my bills? Right. That's so fascinating. And then that's where we can notice where we have innocently assumed that a very limited intelligence is the source of our prosperity. And maybe it's not so. Maybe there's a whole other resource of intelligence available that's not bound. Imagine if you're not worried about paying bills and you're present to where you are right now. Like, are you willing to be struck by the truck of full on abundance right now? Uh, what would it feel like to, at first, it can be sweet to imagine floating on an ocean of shimmering safety, stability, and abundance. Just afloat. And if you're a little freaky, watch a thought of body dissolve and just be a bottomless, shoreless, infinite ocean, infinite expanse of well being. You are the source of the well being that anyone has ever asked for or desired. Not you as your story, but you as you are, the ordinary radiance you are. So sweet, such a sweet option for the nervous system. In certain circles, it's all about mindset and nervous system, which is powerful. And what support for mindset and nervous system to go straight to the peace you are, straight to the ease you are, which is this moment. Again, I love the idea of body, and you are not your body. I love the idea of story, and you're not just your story, or your mama's version of the story, or your granddaddy's version of the story, or your ex's version of the story, or this version of the story, or that version of the story, or the story of a story of a story. Yeah. How sweet to take a vacation from who you think you are. Where do you keep that thought? Do you think you keep it somewhere and it's safe? Reality is the ultimate bandit. Break into any imagined, what do you call it? Safe box. Anyone want to share something? Anyone at home want to share something? Let's see. Pregunta, mañana tendremos live, ¿verdad? I love wishful thinking. Bills need to stop worrying about me paying them. That's so great. Those sweeties, could you imagine? Bills, it's like a catch 22. I love that projection of the bills going, I need to get paid before I can live my life freely. I need to get paid before I could finally love my mother, who's or my grandmother. That's the $1 trillion debt of the country. With that said, it was so cute. It was like, my bills need to stop worrying about me paying them.
Yeah, because they'll disappear if you do. That's how I took it.
Hey. And again, just to be clear with this Satsang, this is not the Satsang about don't pay your bills. Just to be clear. That's not what we're saying. Whether bills are paid or not paid, you're still free. Whether you're in jail or not in jail, you're still free. However, the appearance, you're still you. And who you are doesn't rely on circumstance to be its full self. So powerful. Yes, so funny. See, it works. May all the merit I have collected become the cause of enlightenment. Hopeless, 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 hopeless. May all the merit you have collected be vanished right now, including the one who's collecting them. Hopeless. If we imagine that we're something that's gaining merit, hopeless, forever saying you're something separate, forever postponing the freedom you are, the wholeness you are. Hopeless. Let that go, or really hold on to it and see that it's nothing in hands that are empty of handness. You are not someone who has ever acquired anything. You don't need to acquire anything. You don't need to let go of anything. That is all in the story of mind. That is all thought, innocent thought, and not true. Not true. The idea of you as something enlightened, what do you imagine when you imagine you as enlightened? Are you gold? Are you shimmery? Are you floating? Are you walking through walls? Are you manifesting um, unicorns and rainbows. Like, what's the idea of you as a man enlightened? Are you loving? Are you are you healing the poor? Are you feeding the hungry? You know what? Are you a hummingbird and your life is a flight? Unbearable compassion. Be that unbearable compassion now. Be that radical compassion now. Don't wait for some idea of enlightenment. Enlightenment is just like a burp. It comes and goes, comes and goes. Closer than concepts such as enlightenment is who you are. You are freedom. You are awareness. Freedom regardless of the appearance. Even now, with this thought of you as something that's not enlightened or on the verge of enlightenment or a nervous breakdown, whatever it might be, all of that, again, thoughts appearing in the awareness you are. Notice the awareness you are, everything that you're aware of. And for a moment, allowing the burp of awareness. Yeah, the thought of awareness. But notice that you're aware of the burp coming and going. Awareness cannot be interrupted. Notice. Notice. Turn off awareness right now. And can you try a little harder? Turn off. Find the awareness off button. Stop being aware. Stop it. Isn't it funny? It's like an awareness light bulb. You can't turn off awareness. It's just what is. So what do I do to be better for me and others? Allow my burp? How do I maintain the peace? Oh, beloved, thank goodness you asked that question, because thank goodness nobody got to maintain the peace. Nobody got to maintain the peace. The peace that is ain't up to you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Peace that you ain't up to you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh my goodness, you're right, Ash. Well, hurly doody 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 pooty. I love that. I mean, to notice, right? Thank goodness you don't have to be the one to maintain the peace. Thank goodness. You are peace. You are peace. Peace is here. Not needing one Jimmy rig for many of us. Not needing any little bit of duct tape. Any little bit of super glue or eyelash glue. Needing here. Haha, just like that. Yes. I so love that. Yes. Yes, because this is not new information. This is you with yourself. You with yourself. It's not a teaching of something new. This is the invitation to notice what maybe you're not noticing because you're paying attention to a thought of you needing to maintain the peace, or thought of you needing to finally get enough biscuits in your satchel so you can be enlightened, or thought of you. Yeah. You are you, are you, are you, are you. Hello, you. No side of the screen. No, this side of the screen, that side of the screen. It's just an appearance. Consciousness closer. One life here as itself. The fullness of being here as itself. All included. All included. No puedo conectarme, me pierdo en tu presencia mágica. Well, thank you, love. Oh my God, I love when you say that. I want to let go of my bad habits, Ash. Well, hopeless. What is the payoff for an ego to imagine it needs to let go of its bad habits? What would letting go of the bad habits give you? What do you imagine letting go of the bad habits giving you? Real question. So let's say you do let go of your bad habits. What do you imagine that giving you? What is that going to give you? Space. So you need to let go of your bad habits in order to be space. Is that true? Is it true? Is it really true? I know ego likes to think it's true. What is the payoff for ego to imagine it needs to get rid of its bad habits? It gets to constantly be in identification. It gets to constantly be in time. It gets to constantly be in cause and effect. ¿Y eso qué es? De tres amigos of separation cochane. De tres amigos of separation cochane. That is tres amigos of separation cochane. The three amigos, the three friends of a separation consciousness, identity, time. Yes, it's not true. It's so good to notice. Not true, yes. So what you say intuition is awareness, or is it just anxiety? Maybe a little bit of both. Intuition, a sweet, 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 sweet ally in the dream world. Intuition has its place in the dream world, but intuition only applies to something in relationship to something else. You in relationship to a dark figure in the alley that you decided not to go down. You in relationship to staying alive. You in relationship to doing this. You in relationship to surviving. I knew it. My intuition told me. You funny. But how sweet that as we allow ourselves to rest in the fullness we are, that never needs intuition, but so available for intuition. I love that. The GPS of the dream. Yeah. Yeah. GPS of the dream. So sweet, of a sweet dream that will eventually come to an end. No amount of intuition is going to save you from your last breath. Which is so wonderful. IPS. Illusion positioning system. But for a moment, consider, because I love in the new age spaces, people really like to argue for intuition. What does intuition give you, beloved? Someone wrote the burp of intuition. What does intuition get to exalt? It's also an ally to the false assumption that you are a separate self that needs things in order to get through a maze, a projection of a maze called life. Wondrous. And for a moment, let that go, just for this moment. Healing arts are amazing. They're healing, they're arts. And this invitation, closer than any healing, any arts, it's the joy of fulfillment, not excluding any healing arts, all healing arts included, and everything exalting this moment. Sometimes we think intuition is better than pessimism or intuition, and to some degree it's true, as the story goes. And they both exalt awareness. Again, every shadow says there is light here. Doesn't matter what the shape of the shadow is. So in my experience, there's no part of me that's trying to sort out negativity over positivity, over what an exhausting factory living phenomena. I always say factory because it reminds me of Lucille Ball with her best friend Ethel and all those chocolates. And they're like trying to put them in the wrappers, but the chocolates keep coming and she starts stuffing them in her mouth and then put them in her blouse and down her bra and just full of chocolates everywhere. You can never sort out positive, negative, and neutral. It's hopeless. It never amounts to anything. It just continues to reify uninvestigated assumptions. What is that uninvestigated assumption? That you're someone going somewhere. Just because you tell the truth about who you are doesn't mean you don't continue to delight in the experience of someone going somewhere. Sometimes we think if I really tell the truth, what is going to happen to my life? Your life is still here. It's still you're still here because it's this is awareness. Your life is the universe. Just as it is. We occasionally superimpose a name and a projection of time, but we've only ever experienced awareness with itself as our life, as our now, as every sock in our sock drawer, as every feeling, as every sensation, as every sense. This is what awareness experiencing itself is. That doesn't disappear when we tell the truth about who we are, when we really consider the allegiance to separation consciousness and get familiar with the wholeness that you are, the isness that you are. And I love how Byron Katie says there's only two ways to do anything. One's in peace and one's in stress. And that's all we discover with this option. You don't have to be stressful and you don't have to suffer. Doesn't mean pain isn't going to happen sometimes. Doesn't mean life isn't going to show up in ways that you're like, oh shit. But it's only mind that says, oh shit. You are delighted. I am whole. Yes, you are whole. You are whole. Life is like a box of chocolates. It's never fucking sorted out. So funny. So what's really interesting is this beloved says, I want to stop the inner critics. I don't like how stressful they make things. I want to be delighted. Shit. Feel into the energy of that wants to stop the inner critic. What is that energy? It's a critic. Only the critic has a problem with the critic. Only the ego has a problem with the ego. Of course, it's not to disregard the insight of, oh, I think it'll be really beneficial to not be so wound up with the inner critic or to stop this inner critic. That is a powerful thought. And it's a strategy. It's a sneaky thought. It's a strategy that's constantly refueling the inner critic. Because if you don't get rid of the inner critic, guess what? It's an even bigger critic. You get a super inner critic. To support a sense of inner criticism, in other words, for a moment, because this is what we don't do. The inner critic's here, we want to stop it. So that is the indulging in our storylines of being someone. I've had an inner critic since I was 7 years old. I've had an inner critic since I was 14. I've had an inner critic for years and years. I get an inner critic every time the full moon goes into retrograde. I get an inner critic every time this happens, every time that. So we have all these stories. We have all these stories about this inner critic and how it's powerful and how it comes and how it stays and how it's. But for a moment, allow the inner critic to be totally free, totally as it is. Totally as it is. I want to change the critic into a warrior. I get why I created it, but I want it on my side. Well, guess what? It is on your side because everything is on your side. Everything is in support. Everything is serving. Everything is inviting a closer look. Everyone is inviting the dismantling of these assumptions that we've nourished and fed, and these fantasies we continue to tell ourselves, these nightmares we continue to tell ourselves. In this moment, if you just allow any sense of you and a critic and a this to just be here as it is, what's the experience? And not having to be at war with it, not having to indulge in it, which is telling the story about it. So allowing it to just be here, we immediately relax needing to tell stories about how it got here, where it needs to go, what it needs to do. That's all indulging. And what does indulging do? It emphasizes separation consciousness, the tres amigos of separation consciousness: identity, timeliness, and cause and effect. Because identity, oh yes, I'm the one with the inner critic. Time, oh yes, I've had this for a long time and I hopefully it's gonna go away soon. Time, cause and effect. Oh, when the inner critic goes away, then I'm gonna be more peaceful, I'm gonna be more loving, I'm gonna be more available, I'm gonna be an amazing artist, I'm gonna create amazing things, and be a Picasso on the planet. Whatever the thoughts go, all of that's just mind. It's just mind, beloved. It's a Picasso of mind. But to stop indulging for a moment, allow inner critic to be here. Allowing the inner critic, we're also not in avoidant consciousness. So we're not trying to eat and sex and drug and heal and this and that to avoid, to distract, to not sit with the root cause of suffering, whatever the despair is, whatever that angst of existence is, but to meet it directly, to finally meet it now, where you are. Where are you? Now. Now, meet it. So that's when we allow it to be. We're not avoiding and indulging, which is the beginning of what we call concepts of addiction. And then to not be caught up in wanting to replace it. I want to replace my inner critic with an inner Abraham Hicks, or an inner Yoda, or an inner Tony Montana, or an inner whatever it might be. I'm loving Tony Montana taking over the Satsang. Somebody actually wrote that. Tony Montana, I say that house, eso. Put him on the glass. So replacing is another strategy of ego. All of these are so innocent. Of course, we've had strategies. The horrors, the terrors, the traumas. Of course, we do our best, the best we can. And if somehow this is appearing in your consciousness, somehow if you're hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth, somehow, if you're present, because you're ready to open, you're ready to soften, you're ready to tell the truth, you're ready to notice the wholeness you are, the already okayness you are. When we allow the critic to be here, that sense of criticism, which is fueled by a sense of separation, sense of time, sense of comparison, again, the powers of mind are to separate, categorize, and compare, because that's the best fuel for this dream of an ego forever attempting to justify its existence. But in the moment we put down the strategy, by allowing it to just be here. It softens our personalization of it. And then it can just be how we experience a rock in the forest, or a tree in the forest, or a river in the forest. It's not personal. It doesn't have to do anything to do with you. I've noticed the mind hook when I try to experience things as peace as opposed to stress. Noticing the mind making it another strategy to avoid or replace what is happening in the moment. I'm so glad you noticed that. Yeah, it's so good to notice. Because again, mind will co opt all of the sacred words, all of the sutras, all of the ecstatic poetry, and say, this is what peace looks like. That's not what peace is. This is what this looks like. That's not what it is. And it's the same old strategies and the same old argument with what is. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to open and open and open and open and open, which is allow, 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 allow. As an experiment, I invite you to just be like, okay, in this moment, fuck it. I ain't gonna argue. I'm just gonna stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Just allow it to be here. Mind is the magic. Yes, mind is magic. All is magic. All is magic. And thank you for that, love. How wonderful that we can notice the strategies. This is skillful means. Yes, love.
I noticed that when I allow, I feel like my brain gets more spacious. Like it physically feels like, oh, I can relax.
Yay.
And then I'm like, but is that my mind telling me a story? But I feel it.
So good.
It's like tactile, not a thought.
Right, right. So then that's what's so fun about allowing is that we recognize that there's no limit to it. So even the thought about what allowing's doing, or if it just recognize in that moment, it's good to be like, oh yeah, there's going to be thoughts about allowing. Mind is going to attempt to make allowing into something. Mind is going to attempt to make me sitting here doing nothing into something. And to be ready for that. Okay, mine is going to have something to say, mine, and to allow, notice that there's no end to allowing. So it's like you're allowing and you notice the spaciousness, and then a thought comes, allow that too. And then another thought comes. That was right. The spaciousness keeps staying. Yeah. That it's like there's no end to the allow. Hi, first time here. Well, hello there, beloved Myra B. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. We just have a few more minutes. If anyone has any other question or anything to explore regarding the effortless ease that you are and the innocence of mind. Mind is not the devil. Mind is not bad. Mind is not innocent. It's just innocent. We can meet mind, and we do meet mind. Who you think you are as meeting mind is just mind meeting mind. When we allow, we get familiar with how we truly have always met mind. And who you are has never seen mind as a problem. Has never seen mind as a problem. Has never seen mind as anything that needed to get fixed or solved or stretched or taken to Sister Mary Clarence's school for girls. Never seen any of that. It's like, oh wow, it's wild. So allowed to be itself. so allowed to be itself. And in that allowed to be itself, we're no longer informed by its innocent limitations. Our lives are now informed by the wisdom that breathes us. Our action informed by the wisdom that breathes us. Our thoughts, not our thoughts. Yes, our thoughts too. Thoughts happen, but that's secondary. In other words, our words, our speech were available. That's why we're available. We're available as this moment here with itself, meeting itself. It's such ease to sit and not have to be second guessing. Am I saying it right? Am I not saying it right? Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Am my leg crossed right? Am my leg not crossed right? Is my chakra okay? Is my chakra not okay? That's happened. Is this happened? Is this in the right house? Is that in the wrong house? So nice to be free as an option. So nice to be free. Anyone else like to share something? Who's here? I like that. That's all in my head all the time. I so love that. Yeah. And guess what? You are not alone. Mind is not limited to separate selves. There's just one mind here. Doesn't matter the language, doesn't matter the culture, doesn't matter the dimension, doesn't matter the galactic civilization. If you believe in a thought, you believe in a thought. It don't matter anything. Just one mind here, innocent mind, unquestioned mind. It's not like Oprah Winfrey where you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a mind, you get a mind, you get a mind. We imagine we have separate minds, but that's just an imagination. It's just one mind here until it's seen through. And there's just one heart here, forever vigilant for that mind to appear again and again and again. Effortlessly so. Okay, MJ, come through. What a joy to allow myself to be available to this moment, this wisdom and love. Gracias. You are such a joy, and it is such an honor. Such an honor. Such an honor. Is there a song that speaks to this? You know, I do have a song that says, oh, deeper than this, deeper than a feeling, closer than the breathing mouth. Here everything's allowed to be as it is. All is welcome to exist. A spiritual experience, a worldly affair. Love's not going nowhere. Love's not going nowhere. You cannot get it wrong, for it's indeed the song. Hey, oh, that every atom, every realm sings to you. It's true, it's true. That every atom, that every thought, that every feeling, that every circumstance, situation, and situation, that all descriptions, that everything, everything that appears to appear, all that's here, all that's here, all that's here. Every atom, every realm sings to you. It's true, it's true. That every atom, every realm sings to you. It's true, it's true. You are the flower of this moment. Your fragrance is bliss. Your fragrance is this. Rest here, kiss, kiss. Rest here. Oh, you are the flower of this moment. Your fragrance is this. Whatever is appearing, love as immediate perception, freedom as immediate perception, the universe as immediate perception, universe, one verse, one song, as immediate perception. Oh, like this. Take notice. What kind of dreams have you chosen? What kind of worlds have you chosen? What stories have you chosen? What kind of world are you projecting? What kind of dreams have you chosen? Explosions cannot obliterate these roses, I know this. I'm the green thumb that grows this, a human with an infinite love diagnosis for that which, what are the lyrics? That which moves through all of our systems. That which, the line does come right after. That which, what the hell is what? Balls to the walls. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was the system rise and falls. And the fall of our system. Marigold, could somebody turn this light on too? Marigold, will you hold all your traumas of care and scatter petals of love everywhere? You don't have to be a queen of decisions when your mind is a giant hibiscus. Why do we want decisions? Why do we put so much energy on these decisions? Because we imagine that our minds are going to solve a problem that never needed to be solved to begin with. But oh, when you open up to the intelligence you are, it's okay to trust the intelligence you are. It's okay to trust the intelligence you are. Even if at first that intelligence appears as a giant big ass, I don't know. Even if that intelligence appears as a giant big ass, I don't know. Unknown. That's the beginning of every possibility to ever exist. When your mind is a giant hibiscus, when you don't have to be the queen of decisions. When your mind is a giant hibiscus, you don't gotta be the king of no throne. When hydrangea's the law in your soul, you can just be ordinary at the bottom. Just here. Just here. No concepts of above or lower or more. Just vulnerable, present, alive, equal, unbroken equalness. Have remember if things start to pardon. Have remember if things start to harden. So when these thoughts that we imagine and they appear to solidify, and you're bouncing from pardon to pardon, and then in that solidification of these false ideas of reality, we're making excuses and faltering and running and trying to manipulate our relationships and our conversations. And there is nothing that need be discarded. Even in the appearance of that, you don't need to get rid of it. Open, soften, allow. You are this moment, yes, you are this garden. Infinite moment, an infinite garden. All is a garden. Know your mind as a garden, not the enemy. How does infinite love see mind? How does infinite love see mind? So sweet and innocent. Nothing sticks. Nothing for it to be like, oh shit, what's going on there? That's like a... No, that's how mind sees mind. Free, free. I so appreciate this time together, beloveds. Hola y gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Sit with the root cause of suffering. Meet it directly. It's an option. And the root cause of suffering, don't gotta go crazy looking for it. So then we're gonna be like, turn that into a thing. Oh, where the hell's that root cause of suffering? Lord have mercy. The root cause of suffering is, oh shit, they didn't pick up their socks. Or oh shit, the spoon didn't get this. Or oh shit, there's traffic. Or oh whatever the argument with what is in the moment, allow that to be. How do you get to the root of it? Allow it to exist fully, be a complete root. Allow that root to completely exist, and then that root gets to, by its own accord, root in the only fertile soil in existence, which is who you are. And nothing but trees of wonder can sprout from that. Nothing but trees of wonder, a life of wonder, a life of generosity and kindness and magic. And I love yous, and I thank yous. Thank you for this satsang, beloveds. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Just want to share. All those other retreats are full to the brim, which is super exciting. I don't need to promote them. Super exciting, but there is a retreat in Asheville, North Carolina from October. Can somebody tell me what that weekend is? October 18, 19, and 20? Anyone have access to a calendar really quick? 18, is it 18, 19, and 20? Sub. Yeah, October 18, 19, and 20. We got an ayahuasca. So if you want to have a little ayahuasca with a little non-duality and a little hilarity and a lot of support and vulnerability and just sweet, open-hearted, deep community sharing and reflecting and expanding and rooting ever deeper into the sanity we are, into the light we are, into the freedom we are, then that's an option. Asheville, North Carolina, October 18th to the 20th, an ayahuasca weekend with me and my beloved, sweet friend Gervais, also known as Mama Bear from leafandivine.org. You can find all that information on leafandivine.org. And thank you. I think that's it. All right, loves. Bye. Oh, if you'd like to have private sessions, that's also an option. Just send me a message.